reportedly prepping to help carry out President-elect Trump's plans for mass deportation. Some say they're planning to tap into a program that lets state and local agencies partner with ICE to enforce federal immigration laws already on the books. Sheriff Jeff Gahler from Harford County, Maryland, says he supports this effort. His county, the scenes of the murders of Rachel Morin, allegedly by an illegal migrant, as well as 16-year-old Kayla Hamilton, who was murdered back in 2022 by an MS-13 gang member. Sheriff, thanks for joining us today. What do you make of the reporting that Brooke just brought to us?
Oh, it's insane. I was just at the border like a month and a half ago with other sheriffs and legislators from around the country, and we saw the pictures we saw from Border Patrol where they have all the IDs being discarded on the ground because they want to come in anonymous and without a background. And now we're going to let them on national security, threat the national security by allowing them to fly. This is insanity at its best. Anyone who took an oath, as I did, this is a violation of your oath of office to protect the citizens that we all serve.
One of the problems, I think, with ensuring that folks have documentation is that they come from countries where it's just not provided. Pushing back on the other side here, some U.S. officials, Democrats mostly in the Biden administration, say you can't expect people to have paperwork when they arrive here after sort of traversing their home countries for weeks or months in order to get here. Is there anything you can see solution-wise that would help law enforcement bridge the gap?
Absolutely. Bring them in through the ports of entry and make sure we know who they are, DNA checks, fingerprints, and make sure we know who they are and what their purpose is in the country. Again, to come to the country to make it better is great, but we have too many people not just crossing in for ill will, as the individual who murdered Rachel Morin here did, committing a crime out in Los Angeles before finding his way to our county and taking Rachel's life. But we have people being trafficked in, and the people who are making money, the cartels in Mexico, they're taking, if they have IDs, they're taking them away from them, and again being discarded along the border on the south side, and they're showing up at non-ports of entry and presenting a name, making up a name, and that's how they get put into the system, and that's how they are moving about our country so freely.
It sounds like the kind of cornerstone of President-elect Trump's plan to get these deportations up and running is to allow, and in some instances require, local law enforcement authorities to work hand in glove with ICE, something that a lot of sanctuary cities, outright ban right now. Even if he's able to achieve that, which it sounds like he'll be able to do pretty easily, I understand from a bunch of law enforcement guests this week that this other problem remains of you still can't deport folks who are here illegally before their home countries agree to accept them, meaning anticipating a huge buildup of folks here awaiting deportation. Does that concern you?
Well, it does. And certainly the solution to that, at least part of the solution to that, is secure the border first and foremost. And, we saw the most secure border during my 40 years of law enforcement when President Trump was in office for 4 years. So hopefully we're going to first do that, stop the flow in, and then we can worry about what we do, particularly with those criminals who are here. And I'm proud that, as sheriff, it was actually President Obama's administration who put us into the 287G program, where we work with our ICE partners, Homeland Security, on people who are arrested in this county, processed at our detention center, and then ICE makes a decision based on national security and public safety whether they're going to be deported. So hopefully, more jurisdictions will be put into that program. And again, I'm happy to hear Maryland is a sanctuary jurisdiction in many instances, but in our county, we are certainly not.
And it sounds like, prevention on the front end is always more effective than trying to treat things on the back end, certainly for the United States in these instances. Sheriff, thanks so much for taking time with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.